Happy Sue's Day, everyone. I'm Sue Ann Jafarian, the fat woman driving the novel RV. Today, I'm coming to you from Magnolia Ridge, which is a campground in Texas on Steinhagen Lake. It's one of my favorite campgrounds. I come here a couple of times a year, usually for a week or two. It's just so peaceful, especially the site I have is not one of their more popular sites, which is one of the reasons I like it. It's kind of by itself and very peaceful. But anyway, today I want to tell you about something that happened to Moxie. It actually happened to both of us, but more to Moxie. You see, one of the things I hate about this lifestyle, really detest, are all the bugs I encounter. But it comes with the territory. You want to camp in places like this, which is on a swamp, you're going to have bugs. And sometimes the bugs bite, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're annoying, sometimes they're just relentless. Anyway, back in December, when Moxie and I were camping at Davis Bayou Campground in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Moxie had her first real bad encounter with a bug. Not my first bad encounter, but definitely hers. We were sound asleep, and I was woken up by a buzzing. Now, it's not uncommon for the random mosquito to get into the van, and you know how they like to buzz around your ears when you're trying to sleep. But this didn't sound like a mosquito. It sounded like a 747 taking off. Yes. So I snapped on the light and I saw it buzzing around, and it was huge. And I saw Moxie jump for it and with those jaws of hers clamp down on it and start chewing on it. I don't know if she thought it was a treat or something she hunted and caught, but she caught it all right. It wasn't long before she was vomiting on my quilt, foaming at the mouth, mucus from the mouth. I tried to grab her and get her some comfort and calm her down, and she would have none of it. I was worried that, it was toxic. It was like 3 a.m. in a pitch black campground. And then came the stench. It seems Moxie and I had been visited by a stink bug, and that's what she had eaten. And as she chewed on it and tried to spit it up and spit it out, the stench. Anyway, she wouldn't let me comfort her at all. Like I said, she vomited on my bed's comforter. She went up into the cab area, up on the dashboard, vomited all down the front of the dashboard. Yeah. Then when she came back to the bed, she started wiping all that mucus and foam on my quilt. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I tried to catch her and she wouldn't let me near her. I looked up stink bugs in the online and discovered that the one we were talking about was not toxic and would not bite. It just stunk. Anyway, it seemed like hours, but it was only about 10 minutes when she finally stopped foaming at the mouth, threw up a lot, and then went to her dish and started drinking like crazy. She was probably trying to get that bad taste out of her mouth. I know I wanted to get the bad smell out of the van. But it was the middle of the night. I cleaned up as much as I could. I cleaned off the quilt with a sponge and Lysol. I cleaned off the dash as best I could. The more I cleaned, the less it smelled. So that was our adventure. The next day, I was sitting at my desk working, and I heard that very loud buzz again. Another had gotten in. Now you might ask, how do these things get in? Well, the day that first one visited us, I had the cab doors open because I was vacuuming and cleaning the cab, the front of the van, and it must have come in then. And who knows, maybe the second one came in with it, was keeping low, or maybe it came in the next day when I cleaned Moxie's box, which I cleaned from the outside. But anyway, the second one, she got all excited, and I was, oh, no, we're not going through that again. So I got my zapper, and I zapped it, and then I picked it up with a Kleenex, and I threw it in my trash. Big mistake. Big, huge mistake. The van started stinking like hell again. I pulled it out of the trash and threw it down my black tank. Let it stink up my sewer waste. Now, this story continues on because I went back and cleaned up the dashboard again. This time I found another puddle of vomit I had missed. And as soon as the cleaner and the sponge hit it, it resurrected that smell again. Not as bad, but faint. It smelled like marzipan that had gone bad, rancid. It did have that slight almondy smell, but like rancid. Anyway, that's Moxie's encounter with a bug here in the South. And we are really hoping we don't have to go through this again. Yes, the quilt got washed. As soon as I could, I took it over to a laundromat and washed it. And Moxie hasn't vomited since, so we're all good. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy hearing about it's not all fun and games, even for a van cat, on the road. You all take care, and please come back next Tuesday. I'll be talking about my evolution as a writer on the road. I talked about my evolution as a nomad, how I've changed from over the 5 years I've been on the road. But somebody asked me to talk about my writing process and how it has changed since I've been living on the road. So I'll be talking about that next Tuesday. If you like this channel, please subscribe, and you have a great week.